This is your sign to be a creator. God has called you to create. Well, let's be frank. This is not a religious thing, okay? This isn't like, if you don't believe in God, you can't be a creator. This is like saying that inner feeling that you have inside you, whatever it is inside of you, that is compelling you to want to create something. That is the divine spark. That is the piece of God that is inside you. Because in this reality, you are not just experiencing it. You are not just a passenger. You are also a creator of your own reality, as well as potentially others. But the point is, if you're a creative person, then this is your sign to create. There has never really been a better time to want to create things, okay? Honestly, it's not like there's less competition, and honestly, it's also a time, I think, where it's important to be innovative because, sure, you could probably be successful as, say, a musician, just playing music that's already been played before, especially because it's not that much harder to be better than AI, in my opinion. All AI music, I don't know if you've listened to it, but it seems to have a vibe to it, or a certain feeling, or, yeah, I don't know, there's this certain, like, vibe of music, too, that's popular, specifically in America, I think, right now. That's where I see it the most, but it just, I don't vibe with it, let's just say that. But no, so there's lots of competition, and the thing is I'm just looking down here. There's like 100 quails just crawling around. There's a lot of people doing everything, but your niche isn't necessarily flooded, right? Like, if you want to create something, just put it out there, because my point is that it's never been easier to get it out there. So yeah, there's more competition now more than ever, but also it's never been easier to just put stuff out there. So that's why, as well as the fact that you don't have to necessarily have a huge following, and you especially don't necessarily even need to charge people money to make it as an artist now. So I think in those ways, it's a prime time for it. But look, I'm just out here for a little walk, and I'm just filming this on my phone. It's like nothing special, and that's kind of the whole point, is because I just want to get the point across that if you feel compelled to create, then just do it. And yeah, like, you don't need anything special. Because I was thinking from this personal standpoint where, like, there's a lot of great ideas I've had, especially when it comes to music and so on in the past. How great are they actually? Well, no one can judge, because a lot of them they haven't come to fruition, right? That's because it's hard. Like, it legitimately is hard to record music, for example, if you don't have a good setup, if you don't have good instruments, right? And good technology. There's so many kind of barriers in a way. So that's why I think just doing video format is probably prime, because you probably have a phone, and honestly, your phone also works as a recording device. Your phone, yeah, is a camera and a recording device. So there's not a huge barrier of entry necessarily you know. But my point, I guess, is don't let these things like, oh, I need to be able to buy an expensive camera, or, you know, I need to be able to buy an expensive this, that's why I can't create. Don't let that get in your way. And I guess let's change gears here for a sec now. You've been called to create, okay? Maybe you're like most people, just consuming, right? And don't get me wrong, I still consume, like I still listen to podcasts, so many birds, and music and so on. But I also am creating those things in a way. So it's kind of like a really crude metaphor, but I heard this guy say, you know, if you keep eating, eventually you have to take a dump. And that's basically it. You can't just endlessly consume. And especially, I think, as someone who feels called to be a creator, you have these creative aspects to your personality. It's actually damaging to your soul or to your spirit to not be creative and to not be at least creating something, right? And the way I see it though too is, like I said, is insofar as we are all a divine spark, a, you know, part of the universal consciousness, part of the great it, whatever you want to, however you want to conceptualize it. We are manipulators of our environment, most importantly. And yeah, we are given the divine gift of ideas and creativity combined with the ability to manipulate our environment. You know, we were called to create things. I honestly just think too, for every person, even if you wouldn't consider yourself an artist, or, you know, something like you don't paint or write or anything, but there's always something creative that you can do. Like even within sport, you can be creative, right? I think it's just good for your mental health, and especially, like I say, your spirit, your soul, to create things. Because yeah, so many people are trapped in this sort of trance, and I think if you can shift more into a creator energy instead of always being in this consumer energy, just constantly consuming, if you can shift more into a creator energy, you can also just apply that to other parts of your life, right? Because so many people feel like they have so little control in every part of their life, and there's nothing creative about their life. Like they don't cook their own food, they go to a job where they don't feel necessarily involved, or like they're doing meaningful work, and then they just consume media instead of, you know, cooking your own food, creating your own art and media, sharing your own opinions instead of just listening to other people's all the time. And if you're lucky, creating your own living, your own work, your own livelihood, and at the end of that, your own purpose. And that's exactly it. A lot of people too, I think, like me personally, I begin to feel lost and not productive, not happy if I'm not creating things, whatever it is, whether it's videos or music, or even, like I said, cooking my own food, creating a new workout regime. Like I said, you can be creative within sport, like literally anything. I think it's just good to get more into that mindset, and you'll just become a more well-rounded person. You'll feel better about yourself, And yeah, like I said, you might even get lucky and create abundance, essentially. Right? Like, people who are the most abundant are creators. Generally, they're not people that where everything was given. Like, anyone who's self-made, generally, right? They created something of substantial value. But not saying that's what you have to do. All I'm saying is you could do something as simple as pick up your phone and create a 1-minute video, or I don't know. My hands are freezing cold, man. All I know is that you were born to create. So, create. Thanks for watching.